I found myself in a beautiful room, so lovely it made Earth look ugly. This room had two destinations. One so beautiful I called it heaven, and the other unbelievably ugly. I knew it was hell. I was a skeptic, but in that room somehow I believed when I saw what I once called fairy tales. Oh no, did I die? I had to make it to the good side. Even a fool would choose heaven. So, I chose the spacious, easy, and sensible road, but I ended up in a fool's nightmare. I was a professor, but I failed an exam so easy when the examiner had shouted severally, "Choose life." As I was about stepping into that awful place, I woke up, and for the first time, I was grateful for that fact. It was a dream. It was a dream. I changed. I lived a moral life, but I never stopped to think of who put the moral code in me. And I ended up in that room again despite all my efforts. That dark, sickening, hellish room. I believe God existed. I was ready for the room this time. This time, I saw I wasn't alone. All my life, I had been a realist, but in that place, I found there were beings realer than I was. "Take me to heaven," I nudged an angel. "You're unqualified," he replied. "How? I was good." No one is good. No one is good but God. "And your criteria is to believe in God's salvation, Jesus," the angel replied. "I lived a moral life. I want what I deserve." He smiled. "Believe me, you wouldn't want that when put next to the standard of God." And he raised the scale. "The law is he who sins one sins all." And that day you went against your conscience. From that time you were guilty of all, and as you see, your good deeds weigh nothing. Does that make sense? I try to live a good life and you tell me I don't deserve it. Where is the justice in that? Suddenly, I saw myself in a white room as wide as space. There was a strange looking throne. So strange, because its foundations were not diamonds and sparkling stones, but righteousness and justice. The one who sat on the throne was called Holy, and I wasn't sure I wanted justice when I saw him. My bills surpassed a trillion eternities. I knew 100 years was a lot on earth. So how would I afford to spend that time in darkness? Even my good deeds came from myself, my pride. I wanted to hide. But then I stood before a roughly hewn tree, made into a cross. On it, a man was nailed, his body torn, splinters mixed with his blood that emptied on that tree. Shocked, I saw myself cheering with a crowd as he was killed. Holy said, "I knew you couldn't pay, so I died for you." I woke up and it was still a dream stream, but there were tears in my eyes. Imagine my surprise when I ended up in that dark room again. I knew Jesus died for me. What else? Why did I end up here again? The angel replied, "You never accepted him while on earth." But I was getting used to this waking up thing, so I wasn't surprised when it was still a dream. I woke up, I accepted Jesus, and went about my business. I didn't want to be noticed. I was saved, and I couldn't wait for Jesus to liberate me from this rotten earth so I could reach that beautiful room. At least he loved me to try and get my attention that much. This time, however, I saw a different Jesus. Eyes of fire with a flaming sword. Jesus, it's me. I don't know you, he replied. It was like the kindest death sentence ever. But you went through so much to save me. How don't you know me? I called you as light, but you quenched my spirit in you to blend with darkness, he told me. If the ticket for heaven was 100 souls, would you have qualified? What if the price was slashed to 10 souls for your 10 years of Christianity? Would you have qualified? Would it be fair or unfair when compared to Peter, who won 3,000 souls in one day? You were given much, and yet you were content to watch others go the way I desperately dragged you from. Through compromise and complacency, your love broke cold. Yes, you've been singing the right songs and saying the right things, but your heart was not with me. You've lived an illusion. My father is obsessed with thoughts of man, and you know what he does to fruitless branches. I was so scared. I thought it would be a dream. I hoped I would wake up to another chance. I really hoped so. But as it turned out, it wasn't a dream. Time had been a gift and was never mine. We have 24 hours, 365 times every year. How many opportunities have you lost, and how much more will you lose? What will you say to those who died so the gospel could be passed to you? Can others see Jesus in you? When standing before the King who gave everything to you, will all you bring be nothing? Most importantly, what about the one soul you can influence? What about yourself? Jesus is coming, and ready or not, the Lamb is returning as a lion, and the time is now. Jesus is coming. It is better to be ready than not.